guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know who this be, it's your girl KylerB coming at you with a new video. So today we're going to be talking about the season of 27 of Big Brother. If you guys don't know, I have been doing season reviews of Big Brother since season 23, when Tiffany won AFP and Xavier became the first Black winner. So, I've been doing this for a bit of a time. So we're going to talk about season 27 of Big Brother, the highs and lows, and then obviously the winner, because Ashley Hollis ended up winning Big Brother. So, Big Brother season 27, it started off week 1 feeds. Feeds were basically omitted. Like, we didn't see what happened during week 1, but when we got to see like who won HOH and whatever, like we saw that Ashley was like the house target week 1, because I guess night 1 she took a long shower, which was like max 30 minutes, and then I guess in truth that she just talked to Vinny. Her and Vinny was actually working together, supposed to be like in a alliance together or something like that, so she was supposed to be safe. But because I think Catherine and everybody started talking about, her taking that long shower, it like started being like a whole house situation. So then Zach actually was one of the people who kind of told her like, hey, you're kind of like looking at being a target, because this was like week 1. So everybody was like actually pretty cool with her, but I guess I feel like Catherine was like the one who started it. Anyways, Ashley won the first veto. She saved herself, basically changed the trajectory of the game because she was the house target. So therefore, Keanu was on the block because of that, and then therefore he won Blockbuster, and so on and so forth. Yeah, the season was going pretty good. I mean, after that whole, Ashley won the HOH, my actually draft picks for the season was actually Ashley, Mickey, Keanu, and Zach. When we get to Mickey's, HOH takeover week, she takes the HOH away from Ricky. Like, everybody was up because it was just like, yes, because Riley was definitely going to basically put up, Mickey, Morgan, Ashley on the block that week. So Mickey took over. He basically, incorrectly picks Ashley as the one who was HOH, and she was like, no. But then the thing is that they were telling Mickey, like, hey, you're kind of like, you got Morgan, Vinny, and Zach are already in an alliance. You trying to come in as a fourth, you're going to be on the bottom of that totem pole. But she didn't care. We had Morgan basically convince her, like, hey, take out Jimmy. Mind you, Jimmy helped her take over the HOH. Basically was with her while everybody else was like, kind of like, nah. Like, Riley literally yelled at her. But Morgan got, Mickey to get Jimmy on the block, which is crazy, a blindside. And then, he ended up not winning the Blockbuster. So it's just kind of like, why would he do that? You're basically taking numbers away from your own side, because Morgan's always going to have Morgan and Zach. Anyways, that's when the season went downhill. For Mickey, for sure, and, for everybody else. Putting Jimmy on the block definitely cost, Mickey her game. And then Mickey became, like, she tried to salvage it, but it's just like she started talking about Ashley behind her back, even though Ashley was a number for her and it was helping her. Ashley used to have the house reads on lock. Like, she used to tell Mickey and, the dynamics of what's going on in the house. She basically looked at the, the board and, basically told you, like, hey, this is who these two are working together, these two are working together, these two are working together. Now, Jimmy left. And then it was like, okay, Jimmy, Zach, which is crazy. Zach not using his 10K thing, it was just like kind of silly before his game. But I mean, at the end of the day, he got to win money. But I'm just like, why would he not use it? Because Morgan might go up. That was the downfall on him. Because I'm just like, dude, they said, basically, I guess you heard that, like, okay, Morgan might go up. If he would have just let Morgan go up, he would have been safe. He would have been still in the game, probably not the 5th juror boot, whatever. Then it was like Zach, then Catherine, Riley, Mickey was the last pre-juror. I mean, Mickey, she definitely lasted a bit, 3 more weeks later, but I mean, 3-4 more weeks later, but I mean, it's just like she still ended up losing. We get to jury, and then we have this month of mayhem, and then Rachel becomes first juror, which was like, oh my goodness, Ashley's losing more numbers. She lost Mickey, she lost Rachel, and then shortly right after, it was Will. It was like, okay, back to back people from Ashley's side leaving. I mean, Mickey leaving, it was either her or Mickey, so it had to be Mickey going, you know, at the end of the day, because she found out that Mickey was basically playing her behind her back. Rachel going, though, that was definitely a solid number for her. Will going, that was a solid number for her. But then obviously she pivot and basically, you know, align with Keanu, basically align with Lauren, Kelly as, you know, getting a final 2. And obviously the judges were born before Rachel left. So obviously the whole alliance, it was really Rachel, Will, and Ashley. They basically was like, okay, you know, Mickey's gone now, or Mickey was going that week, so let's do an alliance. So they got Morgan. Morgan's basically very attached to Vince. So basically they got that whole alliance happening. And essentially, it's just like, you know, Vince basically saying in his, you know, he gets the final 2, basically saying like, oh, you know, he didn't need the alliance. But like, if you didn't need the alliance, you didn't have to like basically stay loyal to the alliance if you didn't need the alliance. You needed the alliance as much as, you know, Ashley and, you know, Rachel and Will needed the alliance, because the alliance was going to help them get to the end. So obviously the alliance basically was like winning back to back, because obviously Vince and Morgan was winning these HOHs and vetoes back to back, so they had everything unlocked. So that was really a big thing. When Ashley and Will got on the block, I feel like the biggest thing for Ashley's game was definitely getting Will to leave and her to stay, because everybody was like, okay, yeah, Ashley's next to Will, everybody loves Will, let's get Ashley out. But Ashley worked. She went to work. She basically started like, okay, actually, you know, gaming. And that was like one of the biggest moments of her game, is because Will was a fan, like basically a very fave in the house. So like, you know, Zach basically gave him a 5K trip, or I think it was $5,000, or a trip to London or something like that, on one of those, you know, vetoes. You know, he was very much well loved in the house. So the fact that, you know, she gets sent home over, you know, she gets to stay in the house over Will was basically a very much testament to her social game. Gets to the, like, basically, you know, people start going into the jury. It was like Rachel, Will, Kelly, Lauren, Keanu, Ava, and then we get to the final 3, which was all judges. It was Vince, Morgan, Ashley. Morgan was just basically comp beasting this entire later half of the season. Like, she was just winning. Like, if she has a chance to win, she won. She won the double eviction HOH, and then she also won, I believe, the veto. I think Keanu won the veto, so he was safe regardless. So then it had to be Lauren get sent home. And, you know, Keanu, he was eating too, because he, like, saved himself. But just like, he was really like a house target as well. Gets to the final 3. You know, Morgan won the first. Actually won the second against Vince. Vince's crash out during the second is like, you know, it was very crazy, but, you know, he didn't read their instructions properly. So, I mean, even though he had like a big lead on Ashley, you know, unfortunately, that's how the cookie crumbles. So we get down to final part 3 of the HOH, and, you know, Ashley just beasted it. You know, Morgan, I guess she was too much second guessing herself in the competition, and therefore end up losing, you know. So, and then Ashley, she's been saying in her, like, you know, one-on-one talks, she's been saying like, hey, I mean, Morgan, because Morgan was basically beasting this later half of this competition, and especially in the first half, she was kind of safe because of that trio with Zach and Vince. You know, she did a overall well-rounded game. So she's like, at the end of the game, I'm probably not going to win against Morgan. So she's like, okay, she won. She took Vince, because Vince basically, she, like, you know, cut bridges with a lot of people. Like, the way his jury management wasn't great. So she's like, I know there's a fighting chance against Vince. So Morgan, last, you know, juror, 7th juror, as soon as she walked out into the stage, everybody was shook.
Knows Ashley won the final head of household competition, and Ashley chose to evict Morgan and to take Vince with her to the final 2.
Wow.
Okay, jurors.
Sorry, Morgan. It's okay. You played a really good game. How much you love her. I do. I'm so sorry.
All right, jurors.
Everybody was shook. Rachel, she screamed at the top. Like, she screamed. Like, she was super happy. Kiana was just like, whoa. Like, she really did it. Ashley really did. Like, they found out that Ashley won the second and third HOH. They're like, yeah. Like, okay, it's on lock. Get to the Q&A questions. Vince, I already knew Vince flopped when Kelly asked him a question and she started laughing because he wasn't really owning up. He was basically saying like how, being emotional wasn't like a tactic to his game. He was just basically an emotional person, Like, he didn't plan his tears, It's just like, okay, yeah, like, he wasn't owning up to it. And then also he was like, using some of Ashley's like, points to make his statements, and it's just like, okay, dude, you're not winning this, because Ashley, she had it on lock. She was ready to like give everybody the whole layout, whole plan. But these are just like a Q&A question. Like, you don't have to say everything yet. Like, I think Rachel asked her the first question and she was just like, yeah, like, I saved myself,
And I also had outside protection with Rachel's relationship with Kiana. And so I was able to completely navigate time and time again, considering the judges. The judges stemmed from me being able to convince Rachel why Morgan was a valuable asset in the game. Rachel did not want to keep Morgan that week. She wanted her to go home. But I convinced her why Morgan was a valuable asset, because she's attached to Vinny. So when the veto was used week 6, I told her this is the time, Operation Save Morgan. And
I'm like, okay, I know Ashley was about to eat down. Get to the whole final speech. Ashley ate it up.
I stuck to strategy time and time again. To me, a Big Brother winner is someone who not only, yes, winning competitions is great, but it's someone who's able to strategically line themselves and position themselves so they're safe week after week. To me, a Big Brother winner is someone who turns their enemies into allies, not their allies into enemies, which the counterpart next to me did.
She was like, I played this character, Elle Woods. People thought, I was dumb. They can play me. Can they run over me? I saved myself with a veto week 1. I got the Judges Alliance. I stayed off the block week after week after week. Like, she really did. I think the week when Jimmy was HOH, or was it? No, Lauren was HOH. Jimmy, Rachel, Ashley, Mickey all fight for her to not be on that block when it was between Adrian and Lauren. And she did. She got off the block. She was never on the block. Adrian was the, renom. Like, that's a testament to people, her social game, and people really willing to fight for her, because the fact that they all fought for her to not be on that block is like, wow. And she stayed off that block week after week. She didn't get back on that block until it was Mickey. I think she was a renom for Mickey. I think when somebody won veto, and then, Kiana nommed her with Mickey. I think that was the HOH though. That she was up with Vince, Mickey, and herself in the blockbuster, and I think Vince ended up winning the blockbuster. So it was really just Mickey and her on block, and then Mickey got sent home. How the cookie crumbled, but like, that was a testament to her social game during the time. Like, she was really eating it up, and obviously, like, at the end of the day, she did get put on the block, but she still worked her way off the block. And, at the end of the day, she won competitions when she needed to. She did ended up winning the second final part HOH, the third part HOH, and she knew what to do. She knew how to cut Morgan and to, eventually win this game. So when Kelly laughed at him, it was very obvious. Like, when they were also putting their keys in of who to win, who they wanted to win, Will basically straight out said he's voting for his baby girl, like that.
Hey, this vote is for my little girl, so ain't no surprise.
That was very much obvious. It was Ashley. Rachel was very obvious as well, because she's like, who played the best social game? Vince did not. Ava voted for her. Everybody voted for Ashley except for Morgan. And at the end of the day, Ashley won Big Brother 27.
Congratulations, Ashley. You are the winner of Big Brother 27. Come on out, Ashley. Come on out, Vince.
Basically, she is the third Black woman winning, Big Brother. She's the second back-to-back Black woman winner, and then she's the fourth Black winner overall winning, Big Brother. So I'm just like, this is really history made. I mean, the whole DEI initiative was very much important to society because, you know, in 27 seasons, we don't have 4 black winners. I mean, but that is, you know, a testament to they really needed to switch up this game. And they did. And, you know, I'm so happy for Ashley because it was really like, she really had to climb. She was like a battle from the start. From week 1, it was a battle. But she got here. And, you know, she won. And then we found out that Kiana won America's Favorite Player. I mean, I think the edit this season was very much like not showing everybody's like true, you know, social and strategic games at all. Because I think because every time Kiana was on the block, you know, he got himself off the block with the blockbuster or having vetoes and stuff like that. So people thought like, oh, he's playing a well around the game. But then they also saw like the Jimmy crack, like the Jimmy and him back and forth, the Ava and him back and forth, which Ava kind of looked on television like, why was she like crashing out on him? And then also like, I guess, you know, people felt like, you know, he was getting ganged up on by Ashley and Rachel at that one point, which I'm just like, okay, that's why I guess the public thought, you know, he should get the America's Favorite Player. You know, Rachel was definitely, you know, should have won, but it is what it is. Kiana won, and, you know, that's how the season ends. This season was actually pretty decent. Like, it, you know, started off strong, then kind of like had their dips into it, but then like they picked back up towards the later half. And at the end of the day, I'm very glad for Ashley to win. She definitely did work a social game, a strategic game. Like, she was working from day 1. She had the house reads on lock. And I'm just glad for her. I do my season reviews. I mean, Kiana won AFP, so that's somebody a part of my draft list winning something. And Ashley, even though she was an unofficial person, a part of my draft pick, I'm glad that she won. So this was very much a successful season at the end of the day. I'm glad for my winners. And it is what it is. Season 28, here we come. You know, but we made history once again. Back-to-back black winners. Let's go. Anyway, guys, if you guys like the video, comment down below, let me know your thoughts, comments, concerns. You subscribe to my channel, subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Peace.